Hey ladies, sending my love. Right now I'm just noticing there's so much upset, and understandably so, right? Like if we want things to go a certain way and they don't, and it seems like a really big thing, it affects us physically and emotionally. I just got out of everything we think about changes the way the body functions, and I just got out of yoga, and several people in there were completely distraught, totally understandable, and they were making themselves nauseous and headaches, and one almost puked. And I mean, it's a pretty big deal, right? And you may notice some of those emotions or feelings in your own self, which no one to say you shouldn't have those. But what was real obvious to me is that people are tending to, not everyone, but a lot of people are tending to put their faith and their well-being and their stability into the external structures, which is giving their power away to those structures, which means that it's taking us out of alignment with our absolute divine truth and our alignment with creation or spirit or universe or your higher self or whatever you want to call it. You have a purpose in being here. And I'm pretty sure it's not to live in a state of upset and overwhelm and sadness and grief. And those emotions definitely come through the physical body, but recognize where you may be letting go of your own sovereignty by giving your power away to external structures. And the invitation that I have for you is just to bring yourself back to your own heart, to your own central channel, to your own connection to something bigger than you, so that you can use that as your guidance, your internal guidance system, so that you can move forward regardless of who's in office. And so if we all do that, we may begin to see change. Like, this may be the perfect thing, because we're all being called back to ourselves, into connection to something greater, into connection with our absolute truth and our purpose. And it's so vital that we do that, because the outer world, all the things that are happening out there, are a reflection of what's happening in here culturally. So if we all come back to this and we start to get into that place of oneness, because all of us are a flicker of creation, every single one of us, and we can come back to that and recognize the oneness within us, and recognize that we're an expression of creation with a capital C and love with a capital L, and we can somehow find our way back to that, then we may have an ability to have an effect and change in the world around us. We have to begin to heal our shadows. We have to begin to stand up for what we believe in and what our truth is, not from a place of victimhood and blame, but rather from a place of sovereignty and knowingness. And when we can do that, and we recognize that we're all humanity, all of humanity wants the same thing: well-being, peace, love, light, expansion. Boom. Then we can all be included. We can include all of us, not just ourselves. Of course, that's first. But then we can include all of humanity in this divine experience of life with a capital L. So I don't know. I hope that's helpful. Just begin to recognize if you're starting to numb out, you're starting to overeat, you're starting to drink wine, you're smoking more pot, you're drinking more caffeine and working out hard and over exercising or overdoing, and not settling into your breath and your center and feeling. Because where you can let yourself do that is where your growth and your own personal expansion and your ability to settle in to your own personal truth with a capital T exists. And that is what's going to change the world. All right. Love you, sisters.